Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and starting off with Fearless just proves I need to have my head examined. Because Batman Curse of the White Knight, book 1 came out today, and yet I'm starting out with Fearless. Okay, so this caught my eye. Um, Seeing this, okay, Captain Marvel, I thought, oh, is this the reprint from last week's Captain Marvel, which I haven't been able to get yet. And saw that it was the Fiercest Ladies of the Marvel Universe Unite. Okay, interesting. Featuring Captain Marvel, Invisible Woman. I like Invisible Woman. Storm, Millie the Model. Okay, that seems surprising. And Jessica Jones. Okay, I'm a little intrigued by this. Um, I didn't know the premise of this going in. I think I've said before, I I really should pay more attention to like solicitations, but I like to be surprised. I like to not know what's coming out. I look at the list, every week, and whatever isn't on my pull list, I'll see what else is coming out, and um, just kind of get a listing. I don't even usually look at the descriptions. And then I go to my, couple comic shops. I'm fortunate enough to have like three, kind of four, really close by to me. And there's two I go to a lot. So, and then I'll check the racks, see what else is ordered. So I saw Fearless. I saw all this and saw all these creators. I'm like, Thompson, Bonvillain. Okay, I know it's Von Verlaine, but anyway. So I figured, okay, let's take a look at this. And we have the opening page. And normally I skip this, but it's really important that I point this out here. So, it starts off with Captain Marvel. They're the bosses of space, which is such a stupid freaking line. Storm. They're the goddesses of the skies. Invisible Woman. They're the protectors of the planet. They're the women of Marvel. Okay, I see where you're going here. Okay. So, okay, fine. That's no problem. I don't care. I have a lot of female creators that I enjoy. I've said a lot of good things about Kelly Thompson. When she tries, she's good. For example. But if you look at this, you notice something interesting, that all the creators are women. Okay, so this is kind of the virtue signaling. I hate saying I don't even know what this is, it's just like, okay, it's all women, fine. Okay, all women doing all female characters. Okay, fine, no problem. Representation. Millie the Model though? Okay. Is she really the fiercest lady, one of the fiercest ladies of Marvels? Oh, and I'll get to that. So and then when you get down to like the lettering, design, cover, this is all, again, all women. Okay, no problem. But editors, one, two, three, four, five. Of course, we have Alana Smith in there. And then the special thanks to two other people. Okay, not including these two special thanks, we have five editors. Five editors. Why does one book that's not special sized have five editors? Okay, so yeah, we do have three little stories, but why do you have five editors? There is no reason to have five editors unless you just grabbed every female editor and decided to get them into a byline. So that they can put on their resume. I'm not an assistant editor anymore. I actually have a real full-time editing credit. Uh, Five editors. Why is there five editors? If there's five editors, this book better be damn good. And it's not. But it's not bad. So we have three stories in here. Now, I can't show the whole book, obviously copyright reasons. But the main story, the front pack story, I guess you would say, starts off with a camp, trying to get everything ready for the heroines that are coming to visit. It appears to be that it's a special school for girls, and they're trying to get everything ready for the visit, and They got the one boss who's being a real bitch. Um, and a lot of wasted pages with this. You see what they're going for. It could have been done to one page. Really, it could have been down to one page. Um, so she asks, is everything good? They all said they're coming. The campers are starting to arrive. The checks have cleared, and we made our donations to the appropriate charities. Superheroes are weird about anything that feels like compensation, but their appearance fees have been directed as they asked. They're on their way. And they better be. How am I supposed to run a leadership camp without our keynote speakers? They're coming. Heroes keep their word. So we cut over to Reed and Sue. Sue is one of the keynote speakers who's been asked uh, to speak, and she's having her doubts about it. Um, if I get invited to give a speech at a leadership camp for young technological, I can't even say it tonight, technological geniuses, I'll take it. But for now, this is your chance to catch your breath and dazzle the leaders of tomorrow. So, Sue was having kind of second thoughts. Things like things might be a little bit shady about this camp. Um, that's what has me a little nervous. I can't find anything about this place. Not bad, not good, not anything. And you see, it's the Gloriana Leadership Camp for Female Empowerment. Scholarships available. Unlock your inner heroine. Now in our 7th stellar year. I found one ViewTube clip from 3 years ago. They had Squirrel Girl as a keynote speaker. The clip was taken down the next day. So they're in their 7th year. Sounds like they're like a organization. Um, so you kind of want word of mouth to get out. But she finds one YouTube clip, ViewTube, that was taken down the next day. How did you find the clip that was taken down? How does that work? And you found it was taken down the very next day. Okay, granted, there are mirrors, but if they're so secretive or whatever, you just said you couldn't find anything on it, except for you did find a YouTube clip. Okay, fine. It's a minor quibble, supposed to set up the shadiness, secretness, and even Reed points out with, if they're fans of getting people as keynote speakers, maybe they scrub social media to prevent supervillain attacks on their campers. Really? That's what I do. Okay, logical. Now, here's the funny thing. If she found a YouTube clip from 3 years ago that had Squirrel Girl as a keynote speaker, how old would she have been at then? She's like late teens, right? She's college, right? That's that college she goes through. So imagine 18, 19. So they had her as a keynote speaker when she was just starting out. And I'm sure you could find Squirrel Girl and ask her about this place. It's not like it's not like Marvel in the 80s where the X-Men were in their whole little thing off to the side. Think of the original Secret Wars. The other heroes didn't really play with the mutants. It's not like that anymore. Marvel's all one big happy family. Squirrel Girl is everywhere. Sue, you're a founding member of the Fantastic Four. If anyone has the ability to find someone that knows Squirrel Girl, it's you. Why don't you ask her? So anyway, they have their talk about this, and Reed, basically tells her she should go and blaze that trail. Um, and then we cut to Captain Marvel in space with, I have to presume this is Jean Marie, that this is Aurora, because here's a problem: when you have a character like this, that's not in a very obvious costume, who's speaking gratuitous French, um, well, that's the only key. If there was no, if this was just regular word balloons, regular non gratuitous French thrown in, I'd have no idea who this is. I'd have no idea who this is supposed to be. So I suspect it's supposed to be Aurora because she works Alpha Flight in space, blah blah blah, and so Carol Danvers is feeling weird about being a keynote speaker. Um, I do not get what Marvel is trying to do with this character. I really don't. Um, they're trying to make her as the best superheroine. She's usually cocky and bitchy to everyone else, but here she is having second thoughts about being a keynote speaker at a camp in the woods. Seriously, they show it in the first page. It's a camp in the woods. And so Aurora says, "I'm terrible, but you are magnificent. I'm not going to humor you with the gratuitous French, whichever writer wrote this. Um, the heroine of all heroines. Why do we keep saying this? What has Carol done to earn this? But that's a problem with Marvel and Captain Marvel. I'm not going to send this book on that. So basically, it's Aurora trying to talk Captain Marvel into going to this thing that she agreed to, that she was offered, agreed to have her money given to charity, and she's having second thoughts. Um, and all the entire time they're using their um, powers to scrape barnacles off the space station. Basically, that's the fiercest women of Marvel so far. Now, and then we go to Storm, who is in Canada, basically trying to get these illegal foresters out, threatening them. They guy throws a rock at her, and it goes just a few feet. Okay, come on. Any guy this big, this guy can throw a rock. You know, maybe that dude can't, but I'm telling you, this guy can throw a rock. More than 12 feet. It's like Boys 101. That's what you learn growing up. Even I can throw a rock and hit Storm. And you see my arms. And motorcycles going by. So anyway, she's, gives her little speech and uses the elements to hit them with rocks, and, they leave. And Storm says they won't be coming back because of all the fines for this legal forestry work they're doing. And then she gets weird anti-capitalist for a while. They have they have the means for making more than they'll ever need without violating pristine boreal forests like this one. Have they never heard the word enough before? Um, so yeah, in the last couple panels of her story, uh, my time isn't infinite, and I'm off to a leadership camp because an old student of mine asked me to attend. I would be better served staying here. But I've given my word, the danger is gone, the forest stands. So yeah, Storm doesn't even want to go to this thing. Why do none of these heroines want to inspire young girls with, who are, they're, what did we call them? Technological geniuses or whatever? These are the heroines. These are Marvel's fiercest ladies, and they don't even want to go to this thing to inspire girls. What are you trying to say with this? So then that's the end of the first story. It takes up about 12 pages. We get a to be continued. This part's not bad. This is interesting, sets up the things. As you've seen, I've got a few problems with it. I do have to skip a bunch, so it will be the Millie part. We get a page for the cutout of Millie the Model. That's what they used to do back, 50 years ago. And it's basically Millie is on a photo shoot. She has um, her other model friends and antagonists there. And there's also now a new girl who is a social media influencer. So it's actually kind of an interesting story. I see what they're doing with this. Millie is one of the top models, and here what would be the top model these days? The YouTube star, the social media influencer. The one who is so popular she ends up doing a YouTube stars react on the Fine Brothers type thing. Okay, interesting premise. I can get behind that. Um, the art fits this storyline. I'm going to be skipping a lot of this because it takes up another 12 pages. half the book is spent on Millie the Model. That's about, I think I counted out to about 26 pages. Um, Maybe a little bit more. But, the first story's 12 pages. This was like 12 pages. And then we'll come to Kelly Thompson's story. Anyway, this kind of an interesting take, and it's okay. It belongs in an IDW book, to be honest. The art and the writing, Millie the Model. Just have IDW make Millie the Model books. Um, Millie the Model, not the fiercest lady of Marvel. Let's be honest. I'm gonna slide over because I've got to skip a whole bunch of pages. Um, Hijinks ensue when the evil redhead shows up, and but things get settled down, and the shoot goes well, and the photographer, when asked by Millie if he's going to be around, he says, "Yeah, now through Fashion Week. Do you need new digitals or something?" Now, the problem with some of these word panels is I'm not sure how it seems like they're not aligned right. Sometimes it looks like they're saying things um, before they're asked. Like this one, he says, "I guess I could do that." Now he could be saying that about her. He's thinking Millie's going to need digital pictures taken. And or he could be reacting to, "Haha, no, I'm asking you out. Here's my number." I guess I can. So it's kind of weird, but Millie asks the guy out. So I guess it's supposed to be he says this about taking the digitals, and Millie says, "Call me." "Oh, I'm gonna." Then we see the results of the photo shoot, and Millie, "Psst, yeah, he called. We're dating." The end. Why do they do this in so many books? So many of the bad writers do this. The end with a question mark. It happens twice in this book. The three stories, three stories. I can't count. One is a to be continued, and the other is the end. So skipped a lot of the Millie because I gotta come to this last part. Like the cover said, Jessica Jones. We've seen Captain Marvel, we've seen Invisible Woman, Storm, Millie, and Jessica Jones. Turn the page. Oh, hell yeah. Elsa Bloodstone. I can get behind this. I love Elsa Bloodstone. So she's apparently in jail the way it's acting. She's calling Jessica Jones to bring all the money she has to come get her. And, she hears, you know, people talking in the background. Um, "I said no, Carol." And what, Carol? That did not sound like Carol. "Elsa, what's going on?" And Jess. Was that Kate? And so they're running out of coins, I guess, because of the way the phone's beeping. And so basically, Jessica Jones has been asked by Elsa to bring all this money to the jail, and you turn the page, and yeah, it's like the little Avengers things. And Elsa is in prison with all of them, Miss Marvel, and what is Monica calling herself these days? Is she Photon? She-Hulk, the closest we'll get to a good She-Hulk anymore. Original, Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, yeah. Jane Foster's Valkyrie already up here, I guess. And yeah, it's Unusual Suspects, story by Kelly Thompson, basically the creative team of the current Captain Marvel book. And again, the end. It's 3 pages. This story is 3 pages. What is there to this? Uh, it's a. It's not even a 3 page story. It's a phone call and a reveal. You were just filling pages with this. Don't even try and say that this is like Jessica Jones' story. The rest of the book is a spotlight, writer's spotlight. Basically the Captain Marvel creative team, the ones who made the 3 page story on this book. I can't believe I've talked almost 20 minutes on this. You know, Fearless #2. And check out Marvel's other female-led titles this month. Yeah, Captain Marvel, blah blah blah, Web of the Black Widow. Yeah. So this book I know is going to be critic proof. I know that if I were to look on comicbook.com, if I look on CBR, they're going to talk about how brave this is and how fantastic. It's okay. It really is okay. Um, it's not great. The first half of the story, the first half of the book, that Camp Gloriana story, is actually interesting. It's not really the best well written because showing our fiercest, Marvel ladies, and none of them want to go and be inspiring. The second story, which takes up way too much of the book, is a Millie the Model story. Who is clamoring for a Millie the Model story? Why was the Millie the Model story not the 3-page story, but instead Jessica Jones, who shares it with Elsa Bloodstone, who is awesome, by the way, um, only gets the 3 pages, which is, page set up, joke. That's all it is. It's a punchline. Again, the end. Well, what's going on here? This isn't a story. This is a pitch. That's all this is. Why is Elsa in a jail? Why is she with all the, little Avengers, little X-Men heroes? What's going on with this? You can't put the end on this. It's not a story. So, um, when you talk about the fiercest ladies in Marvel, remember, only Storm fought some guys. It was the only one that showed how fierce she was by using her storms to blow rocks at some guys and making them leave. That's it. That's all the fierceness that we saw. And Captain Marvel scraped some barnacles off of her space station with Aurora. So hey, good on her. Um, Not a good showing. Not a good showing if you want to show us how awesome and tough they are. Now, this book is all female talent. No problem. I thought the Millie artist worked well with it. Some of the stuff in the first part was kind of goofy. Reed looks very male feminist here. um, but I guess he would be being married to Invisible Woman. Um, so yeah, not a lot of fierceness going on in this book. Um, I would give it. My throat just cut out there. I'd give it about a 130. Excuse me, sorry, clear my throat. Give it about a 130 because yeah, the first story has promise. The Millie, cut that out or drop it down to 6 pages most. Give us more Elsa Bloodstone. Elsa Bloodstone, who is fierce. She is awesome. More Elsa Bloodstone. Um, and yeah, the when you have a camp, what's on my finger? Did I get some ink on my finger? Huh? I always see other people talking about the ink rubbing on their fingers from the comics. I don't have that, but it looks like I've got something on my fingers. Um, the uh, the group that is having that camp, are they Sinister? That Camp Gloriana, but they're inspiring young girls. It's a camp for all girls. Why are the 3 female heroines reluctant to go? Okay, that's why I said 5 editors. This book had 5 editors, and they decided that a 12-page Millie the Model story was a good way to spend almost half the book. 5 editors. Anyway, it's what is good is actually pretty good. That first story's pretty good. I'm happy to see Elsa Bloodstone, so that's why I give it a 130. Not quite 2 o'clock, because while the Millie the Model story is not bad, it's not my cup of tea. It needed to be a lot shorter, and really doesn't belong with the fiercest ladies of Marvel. So cut that out. Give Elsa and Jessica Jones, split the book between this story and their story, and I'm okay with it. So anyway, 24 minutes. Don't know how I did that. Thank you for watching. I gotta work a double tomorrow, so I might take Batman, Curse of the White Knight with me and do another Office review. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.